Nalaman ko po kamakailan sa isang reliable source na ang pinakaunang may ideya pala ng Maharlika Fund ay hindi yung ating economic managers. Si Mr. Vic Veloso pala, ang presidente mismo ngayon ng GSIS, ang nagpanukala kay presidente ng ideya ng Maharlika Fund kung saan ililipat ang mga pondo ng GSIS. Of course, pagkatapos naramdaman ang galit ng tao at nawala ang probisyon ukol sa SSS at GSIS funds, at least sa bersyon ng House, ay nagbubukas tayo ng backdoor. Backdoor sa bersyon ng Senado. At ito po, good sponsor, ang backdoor. May I ask questions of the good sponsor about our
Yes, of
bill?
course, Your Honor. You're very welcome to ask a question.
Thank you so much.
Questions?
Thank you so much, good sponsor, Mr. President. So to start off, Mr. President, sa bersyon po natin sa Senado, nakasulat doon na puwera sa Land Bank, DBP at Bangko Sentral, quote, other GFIs and GOCCs may invest into the Maharlika Investment Fund subject to their respective investment and risk management strategies and approval of their respective boards, close quote. Tila inosente ang probisyong ito na matatagpuan sa Section 12 ng Panukalang Batas. Parang may safeguards din. But, good sponsor, Mr. President, and dear colleagues, I would rather really not have this section at all. Alam po natin na tinanggal na sa bersyon ng House ang paggamit ng SSS at GSIS funds. Pero parang dito naman po ay nagbubukas tayo ng backdoor. Can you, good sponsor, assure the members of the SSS and GSIS that we are not opening a Pandora's box?
Yes, Your Honor. I can assure the members of our government institutions that the process for which they decide on what instruments they invest in will be the same. It will go through the same process they always have. And it's well accepted, and we've seen it for that they've managed their funds very professionally, and there's nothing in this bill that requires them to invest. But of course, it is something that that they're not prohibited from doing, which I don't think they should be prohibited from making any kind of investment that may be beneficial to their members.
Well, Mr. President, good sponsor, thank you for that answer to my initial question. I'm not completely convinced that it should not be prohibited, especially given certain contexts. For example, Mr. President, good sponsor, can you assure the body and the public that SSS and GSIS members will not lose their hard-earned pension money in the same manner that even some of the best managed sovereign funds lost hundreds of billions recently?
The SSS and the GSIS have very strict mandates when it comes to their investment. Of course, equities are considered have a slightly higher level of risk than fixed securities, especially the T-bills. But if you look at these investment funds, of course, they carry a healthy balance. Safety is achieved through diversity of investments. Profit maximization is achieved through diversity of investments. That's how you secure it, and that's how that's why we have actuarial experts who decide on what that's why we have these investment experts who decide on how they should how and where they should invest the funds. So for instance, a lot of these funds are in most financial institutions, a majority of their investments are in safer securities, of course, T-bills. But of course, in order to maximize investments, you also have to diversify. So there's a percentage in equities, there's a percentage in other instruments, but that's all a part of the investment strategy. But there's nothing in the bill that would change the investment strategy of these institutions, and there's no reason for us to think that the safety of the investments of the members will be compromised in any way by the Maharlika.
Speaking of investment strategy, Mr. Good Sponsor, Mr. President, it may be true that there's nothing in the bill that would impact on the investment strategy. Pero dito po pumapasok yung isang context na binanggit ko kanina, which would make the inclusion of this provision a lid of a Pandora's box. I do thank you for your assurances so far, good sponsor, Mr. President. I would, however, still request our colleagues in the majority to worry about this and, in fact, to help remove this provision altogether. Nakakakaba dahil una po, appointees din naman ng Malacanang ang mga nakaupo sa boards ng GSIS at SSS. At alam naman natin na napakabilis pong mag-alis at maglagay ng mga bagong Malacanang appointees sa administrasyon. At pangalawa, nalaman ko po kamakailan sa isang reliable source na ang pinakaunang may ideya pala ng Maharlika Fund ay hindi yung ating economic managers. Si Mr. Wick Veloso pala, ang presidente mismo ngayon ng GSIS, ang nagpanukala kay presidente ng ideya ng Maharlika Fund kung saan ililipat ang mga pondo ng GSIS. Of course, pagkatapos naramdaman ang galit ng tao at nawala ang probisyon ukol sa SSS at GSIS funds, at least sa bersyon ng House, ay nagbubukas tayo ng backdoor. Backdoor sa bersyon ng Senado. At ito po, good sponsor, ang backdoor. Kapag pala binago lang ng GSIS board ang kanilang investment strategy, hindi yung bill ang magbabago, pero yung GSIS board, kapag binago ang kanilang investment strategy, ay pwede nang isugal na rin ang lampas 1 trilyong piso na pera ng GSIS sa Maharlika Fund. At sa isang video nitong Abril lamang, sinabi mismo ni GSIS President Veloso na nire-review at babaguhin na nga daw ang investment strategies ng GSIS. Advanced mag-isip, nasimulan na pala at matatapos na rin itong review ng GSIS investment strategies sa loob lang ng ilang buwan. Kaya I would still insist, good sponsor Mr. President, kabahan po tayo mga kasama.
Ako, Your Honor, syempre, ayoko rin mag-comment sa investment strategy ng GSIS. But I can speak for the competence, of course, of those managing GSIS. I can also speak for the competence if kung kinakabahan po tayo sa ating mga appointees. Hindi po ako kinakabahan. When I look at the, first of all, of course, it's certainly it's of course it's the option of the president who he should appoint as a board of directors. But looking at the names now who stand behind me, Medalla, Jokno, Pascual, these are the best of the best. And when I hear these names being sounded off, I feel very comfortable with the future of Maharlika. Of course, there in every administration there are new appointees. But if we see the history of the appointees to these institutions, be it GSIS, be it Department of Finance, DTI, I can say that these institutions are very strong and they've been led by men of competence, men of integrity, and I have no reason to believe that this trend will not continue. And that's why I have faith in the controls of the Maharlika. It's not limited to the board of directors. There's also the advisory board comprised of the NEDA, comprised of the Treasury Department, comprised of the DBM. The names now who are there, of course, Treasurer Lea De Leon, Secretary Balisacan, Secretary Pangandaman. These are people who I've worked with, who I have full confidence in their professionalism. Again, and then of course there's the internal, external auditor. There's the oversight by Congress and Senate. I feel hindi naman po ako kinakabahan pag nakikita ko yung mga mamumuno po sa Maharlika Fund.